The final thing we need to do is implement GetHashCode for this type. The idea of GetHashCode is that it gives you a 32-bit integer that represents a hash of the contents of the object. The real purpose of having a method that can supply a hashcode is to allow the type to be used as a key in collections that internally use hash tables, because hash tables need these hashcodes. You've probably used the collection Dictionary of TKT value. Internally, Dictionary of TKT value uses a hash table. It's arguably the most widely used type that does so, and it therefore depends on the GetHashCode method. Now, all this doesn't sound like it has much to do with equality, but it does, because in order for hash tables to work correctly, hashcodes have an important requirement. If two instances evaluate as being equal, then they must also return the same hashcode. If this requirement isn't met for a type, then you'll find dictionaries that key on that type simply won't work properly. Hence, if you modify how equality behaves for a type, you need to modify how GetHashCode behaves for that type to make sure the two match up. And that's the connection between hashcodes and equality. Now, I don't want to talk too much about hashcodes here. It's a deep topic, and because of that I have a separate module all about hashcodes later in the course. So for now I will simply give you an implementation of GetHashCode that works, and we'll examine what it does and why it works in the hashcodes module later on. As usual for overriding a method, I'll type in override and let Visual Studio generate the method stub for me. And I'll paste in the implementation I want. What I'm doing here is separately taking the hashcode of the food group, that's an enum, which means in reality it's an integer, and the name, which is a string. Because int and string are Microsoft defined types, Microsoft has already implemented GetHashCode for these. So in effect, I'm reusing the hashcodes for these fields that are already available. Then I combine them using this up arrow symbol, and in C# that means the exclusive OR operator. So that's GetHashCode done, and we've finished implementing equality.